Termine? Your frustration is natural, but I think the personal stakes involved cloud your mind. Surely you have solved more difficult riddles in your life. Know that we have done all we can. It is time to cast the die and see how it lands. I am no advocate, but when it comes to evidence, I doubt we can get more or better. If it isn't, there is not much we can do anyway. I have lived a full and bountiful life. This old man has witnessed so many things. I've found everything I've been looking for. Death is not to be feared. If you think I've been following you because I'm your Zeus, you're still a child in mine. I've been free for a long time now.
We are at the end now. I think we have enough evidence to get that bastard exiled forever. That is not an option. We'll need to make sure everyone understands what happened. We cannot count on the facts to speak for themselves. They will certainly take some convincing. It is unfortunate that we had to kill a few Praetorians. But what do you mean? Walk into Rome with swords in our hands? That would make us look like villains. Justice should never serve the interests of one person. It's been a pleasure, genuinely. You always stood by my side, even if it was against your own interests. I will never forget that.
Shall we store your weapons at the villa, as usual?
Are you sure? What makes you think you can win a battle of words against Lurko?
Certainly, but keep in mind he has enough evidence to condemn all of us as well. Even if we can destroy him and get him exiled, it may well cost us our own lives. Are you ready to pay that price?
We can die fighting. We can simply find him and kill him.
You're speaking of carrying out a coordinated assault on Rome and the Senate. It is no small task.
The difficulty of the task is irrelevant. We would need to cross the Rubicon with our arms and soldiers to achieve this. It would be a betrayal of Rome herself. Then let us stop considering it.
So that means we're taking our chances with the Senate?
It's the only right thing to do.
Fine by me. I believe in you all.
It seems you have reached a decision. Very well. For a moment I had my doubts about you. For that I apologize.
Right. Let's go celebrate that we all made it back alive. First round is on me.
You can't defend yourself on an empty stomach. Eat up.
Let me taste it first, as usual.
Now that you're back from another war, what do you want to do next?
Precisely. We can't afford to underestimate our opponent at this stage.
Kikero and I will meet you in the Senate tomorrow morning to prepare for the trial.
Speak as if your life depends on it. In many ways, it may. You should get some rest.
You look concerned. Children should never have to worry about their parents. That monster tore my family apart. That is a lovely thought, dear. But I'm not sure what he will do if he's no longer our Servus. Perhaps he does not want to be a citizen.
What's on your mind?
It is a good day, my friend.
We will have order in the Senate now! Debating the clarity of the augury will not be productive. The consul himself stands accused. Nothing could be of higher importance. Any other relationes shall be set aside. The result of this relatio again shall be decided per discussionem, and before the sun sets. You may continue, consul, but please, refrain from delving deeper into matters completely unrelated to our discussion.
Naturally. May I restate the necessity of using my actual title, Dictator, instead of Consul? Do you even know what Dictator in Perpetuo means?
The legatus has a point. Your title was granted for a limited time in order to solve a crisis. Even though the time has not passed, we can certainly say the crisis exists no more.
I beg to differ. The crisis has evidently not passed. It has merely changed context. Allow my colleague Senator Antonius to display with clarity how unprecedented and absurd this relatio is.
Dear Senators, first let us consider the source and the spirit of the regulation that allows us to appoint a consul to the position of dictator. And yet, despite all this, we somehow ended up here accusing the very man who was tasked with the prevention of this crisis.
Thank you, Senator, for this detailed and above all long explanation of something we all knew. Our memories have been thoroughly refreshed. If that will be all, we will finally discuss the evidence presented against the consul. Let us consider the preponderance of indications suggesting your involvement in the Mithridates affair years ago. At the time, you claimed to have no knowledge of your brother's corrupt and treasonous activities. But it is clear now that this wasn't entirely accurate.
I do not like what you're insinuating. My brother died for his crimes, if you remember. Do you mean to say that he was wrongly accused? And what did I do to divert the attention of the Senate? Kill my own brother? Tell me, Legate. Do you have any other far-fetched theories?
I admit, the accusation is rather weak. It implies the Senate can be fooled, and that the consul used fratricide to merely distract people. Do you have a counter-witness, Dictator?
I am the most important counter-witness here. Let me tell you my side of the story. Therefore, you cannot connect my activities to that war. In fact, it is fair to say my alleged relationship with Mithridates was only in the service of Rome.
Somehow, fair wasn't the word that came to mind. Shall we perhaps talk about the infamous invasion of Egypt?
Infamous is the correct word for it. The Legatus ignited a war in a land that was already a province of Rome. He brought chaos and terror to Africa.
The way I see it, he installed law and order, and saw to it that the rightful queen of the people now sits on the throne.
I must protest. This is highly unusual, having a foreign ruler comment on our internal affairs. And I suppose we have to take you on your word for that accusation too.
Of course not, because that's where I come in.
We're listening, Queen Cleopatra.
Of course you are. Now I shall tell you how your dictator redirected taxes paid by our people into his coffers, and how he managed to get both his accountant and proconsul murdered in the process.
A chilling account, Your Majesty. Thank you for your testimony.
Once more, I must direct your attention to the utter lack of credible witnesses. Neither this legendary ledger nor the fictional accountant who wrote it are anywhere to be seen.
Then explain your presence in Alexandria, at the time of the battle. Why would Ptolemy, who at the time was waging war against Rome, be on friendly terms with you?
I was trying to clean up the diplomatic mess created by your legatus. You started a civil war and made your own legion party to it. That's a dangerous power play.
Perhaps. Let us end by discussing the recent campaign against the barbarians of Gallia. You did kill members of the dictator's Praetorian Guard, didn't you, Legate?
I suppose that means you have the authority to condemn and execute criminals on behalf of the people of Rome. I wonder why we have to bother with this hearing, then.
The authority of the Senate in these matters is absolute. Surely the legatus misspoke.
You seem to give my accuser a very vast benefit of the doubt, Consul. When someone tells you they have committed a crime, you ought to take them at their word.
Perhaps. I can see the Senate has more or less reached a decision. Shall we end the discussion of this relatio by voting on the result? I am sorry, my friend. For what it's worth, I was rooting for you. But you really did poorly in making your case, and I had to be impartial. Wars are fought on the battlefield, but they're won in the Senate. This will not end well for you. And chances are this is the last time we will see each other. Wale, Legate. You came, you saw, and you lost. We will have order in the Senate now! Debating the clarity of the augury will not be productive. The consul himself stands accused. Nothing could be of higher importance. Any other relationes shall be set aside. The result of this relatio again shall be decided per discussionem, and before the sun sets. You may continue, consul, but please, refrain from delving deeper into matters completely unrelated to our discussion.
Naturally. May I restate the necessity of using my actual title, Dictator, instead of Consul? Do you even know?
The Legatus has a point. Your title was granted...
I beg to differ.
Dear Senators, first let us consider the source and the spirit of the regulation that allows us to appoint a... And yet, despite all this, we somehow ended up here accusing the very man who was tasked with the prevention of this crisis.
Thank you, Senator, for this detailed and above all long explanation of something we all knew. Our memories have been thoroughly refreshed. If that will be all, we will finally discuss the evidence presented against the console. Let us consider the preponderance of indications suggesting your involvement in the Mithridates affair years ago. At the time, you claimed to have no knowledge of your brother's corrupt and treasonous activities. But it is clear now that this wasn't entirely accurate.
I do not like what you're insinuating. My brother died for his crimes, if you remember. Do you mean to say that he was wrongly accused? By your logic, anyone can be guilty of anything.
The Legatus has a point. We're not talking about some stranger. This evidence implicates your family, and you were never proven innocent. Do you have a counter-witness, Dictator?
I am the most important counter-witness here. Let me tell you my side of the story. Therefore, you cannot connect my activities to that war. In fact, it is fair to say my alleged relationship with Mithridates was only in the service of Rome.
Somehow, fair wasn't the word that came to mind. Shall we perhaps talk about the infamous invasion of Egypt?
Infamous is the correct word for it. The Legatus ignited a war in a land that was already a province of Rome. He brought chaos and terror to Africa.
The way I see it, he installed law and order, and saw to it that the rightful queen of the people now sits on the throne.
I must protest. This is highly unusual, having a foreign ruler comment on our internal affairs.
I must agree. The Queen's opinions on this matter should be of utmost importance. We're listening, Queen Cleopatra.
Of course you are. Now I shall tell you how your dictator redirected taxes paid by our people into his coffers, and how he managed to get both his accountant and proconsul murdered in the process.
A chilling account, Your Majesty. Thank you for your testimony.
Once more, I must direct your attention to the utter lack of credible witnesses. Neither this legendary ledger nor the fictional accountant who wrote it are anywhere to be seen.
Then explain your presence in Alexandria at the time of the battle. Why would Ptolemy, who at the time was waging war against Rome, be on friendly terms with you?
I was trying to clean up the diplomatic mess created by your Legatus.
Interesting how you just tried to cast the Legatus as a foe. He was, of course, serving Rome at the time. And his campaign was declared bellum justum et pium by the Fetiales. Let us end by discussing the recent campaign against the barbarians of Gallia. You did kill members of the dictator's Praetorian Guard, didn't you, Legate?
And pray tell, why would my Praetorian Guard attack you?
Indeed, why would one Praetorian Guard attack another? Enlighten us, Dictator.
Is that for me to answer? He should answer first.
I see.
I see Senator Antonius has something to add.
Oh, right. I thank you for this opportunity to talk about the history of foreign leaders being represented at the Senate. First of all,
once again, thank you for your detailed explanation of this important issue, Senator. Shall we finally proceed to decide now?
We certainly shall not. The sun has set and a decision was not reached. I believe this relatio is to be declared undecided.
Under normal circumstances, a decision has to be reached by sunset. But in light of the overwhelming and damning evidence against the dictator, I believe this relatio deserves a proper decision. We reconvene tomorrow at sunrise for the final decision. This shall give the dictator a fair chance to defend himself. One final time. This session is at an end.
Let's wait until everyone has left, so we can talk to Kikoro in private.
I admit, I was rooting for you. But you really did defend your case excellently. Tomorrow's hearing will be a formality. You've pretty much won.
What you're doing is unexpected, but admirable nevertheless. It seems you're not beyond redemption when it comes to the morality of your actions. However, I want to be certain that you understand the gravity of what you've done. You have murdered the Praetorian Guard of a sitting consul. There may yet be consequences. The Senate is made of men. It is as moral as the people who inhabit the building.
I think the risks themselves are irrelevant at this point. The Senate has been convinced of Lurko's guilt.
Despite his futile stalling, you've made it clear to everyone that Ortelius Lurko's war in Gallia was nothing but a power grab.
At this point, it would be a stretch. Not to mention, it would imply that another senator had started a war under his watch.
The consistency of their testimonies is more important than their numbers.
The Senate has the right to stop listening to witnesses if their opinion is already formed. I believe it has been. And it is strongly in our favor. It's best to refrain from mentioning these accusations unless we can prove them. Compared to the level of treason implied, the murder of 2 Romans seems trivial. Should he repeat his accusations of murder, it is my hope to use precisely this argument to shield you from them.
What do you have there?
Food for the Legatus and his friends.
Let me have a taste.
It's for the Domini only.
My Dominus does not eat anything until I've tasted it.
Well, all right then.
Delicious.
That's odd. I haven't ordered any food to be brought here.
There is no eating in the Senate.
Oh, excuse me. I feel dizzy all of a sudden. There is an odd taste to this food.
Sit down if you feel unwell.
can't breathe.
The food was poisoned. Where did that sower go?
Stay with him. I'll get help.
Armed men have entered the forum.
We brought your weapons.
Oh, man. He's dead. Lurko. I shall skin your back and lay you on salt. I shall feed your cock to street dogs.
Marlon! Grieve later, Bestia. They're here.
Marlon, still alive. Make sure no one escapes.
Was that as painful as it looked?
Have time for this. Deal with them!
Only one remains. This was easy.
Venus! That honorless piece of shit! He got away!
Your mother is alone. We must hurry. Knowing Corvinus, he will either go there next, or he'll send someone for her.
Meet us in the Regia when your family is safe. Our dear Pontifex, Maximus Aurelius Cotta, will be good to have on our side.
We have basically already won. This attack represents a clear legal victory.
Marcus, this is not the time.
Short arrows. The guards were attacked from afar. We may be too late.
They killed everyone. The villa is burning! Should I inform the authorities? I shall run as fast as my legs will take me.
What a sight. How long do you think it'll take to burn down?
It'll burn long into the night. That's for sure.
Should we be worried about it spreading to the adjacent buildings?
Nah, that's not our problem. I'm more concerned about the proprietor showing up to put out the fire.
That posh prick already lies dead on the Senate floor. On the orders of Consul Vivius Vitellius Lurco, you are all under arrest. You're accused of murder and treason. Your sentence is death.
Since when do mere lictors have the power to sentence a Roman citizen to death?
Do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
We really caught those thugs off guard.
If they expected mercy, they should not have started fire here.
Your mother is trapped in there. We have to get her out.
Use the water from the fountain to douse the flames.
Everyone, fill your water jugs from the fountain. We have to keep those flames at bay.
anyone still alive? Help! Oh, thank Juno. Please, get me out of here. Everyone's dead. They had no mercy. They butchered the Sarwi. Oh, I am bleeding.
You need help. Get her to a physician.
Strike 2 birds with 1 stone and take her to the Regia. Cato and Cicero are waiting for you there, and the Vestal Virgins can treat Claudiana.
You are alive.
Indeed, he has failed for now. But that only raises the stakes.
I could not believe my ears when Kato told me about Yorko's betrayal. This shall not go unpunished.
What if he comes back for us? I don't believe anyone close to you is safe.
Your faith is inspiring.
We need to seize the initiative. Corwinus can't be too far away. As long as he's in the wind, we can't be safe.
Maybe, but it'll take some time, and we don't have much to spare.
I know where he is.
Maybe I can ask some of my friends in the Senate. Lyurko must have allies, and perhaps some of them know a few things.
Highly unlikely. Chances are not even Lyurko knows where that man is.
I know where he is.
An augury might reveal his location.
Will we set a chicken loose in the streets of Rome and hope that it guides us to him? Hardly.
I know where he is! He is at Campus Martius, hiding with a group of gladiators he has hired. We can go there and get him. He killed my Magister. I will make no promises. Lucius Erucius Corwinus. We're here. Come out and play.
The entire ensemble is here. I guess you're ready for the final act. I have to admit, I'm impressed. I did not expect you to be able to find this place. Pay no heed to his words. We work for the consul himself. Vitellius Lurko will ensure that no punishment of any kind will befall us.
We will tear that weasel limb from limb. Then there will be no one to protect you from the law.
I remember you, Tabat. We fought lions together in the arena.
Bestia Tabat. Now, no amount of denarii will make me fight you.
You're on your own, Corwinus.
try harder.
To quit.
One left. Disappointing.
These people are so weak. I will skin your face and drink from your skull.
A charming notion, but improbable. May I propose a different option?
There are no options. You will die now.
Or we can be sensible about this and keep him alive. He probably knows a lot about Lorco's plans. Besides, Corwinus is a capable and smart warrior. He'd be useful to us.
That is not acceptable.
Finally, we can stop watching our backs. Corwinus, you are under arrest for the attempted murder of this man and the actual murder of his service. You're coming with us. Corwinus is inside. She was supposed to be here. I don't know what she's doing. At once.
Well, here we go again. You want to try your hand at torturing me as well? Fair enough. I suppose you have some questions. For too long. He hired me back when he assumed control of Weeksy. Of course not. Weeksy existed in one form or another for hundreds of years. Felix is only the latest of its commanders. I'm no fanatic, though. He merely hired me as a contingency. I am loyal to my contract. Besides, all of his loyal guards are dead, thanks to you. If I have to choose between loyalty and death, I don't have to ponder my options for long. It's not just money. Lurko is a very intelligent man, and I respect that. He plans ahead, and he rarely leaves things to chance. It is the first serious misstep I have ever seen him make. You have got him powerfully rattled. That's why he will never face you in the Senate. That's why he sent me to assassinate you at last. Not out of any personal animosity. With Marcellus and his useless brutes gone, it was up to me to finish the job. You asked the right question. He still has many allies in high places. Why would he risk it, indeed? My job was simply to get rid of you. The consul obviously hoped you'd get yourself killed in Gallia. I guess this was his contingency plan. You of all people should know that warfare is about positioning. Once you can cover any possible move your foe might make, victory is a natural outcome. Merely by trying to win from such a position, your enemy defeats himself. I would not bet on that. Look, I'm getting bored of this. We both know you're not going to kill me, and I've told you all I know. Frankly, None of this is any use to you. For all I know, me getting caught is part of Lurko's plan. So, hand me over to the authorities and let me face charges. Let's see. What do you have to offer? And I know you're good for it. Very well. You've got a deal.
I will find surgeon to take care of it. See you soon.
Did he talk?
That is comforting. I'm glad we have him.
What do we do now?
He should be here any moment now. Don't worry. Kato is a smart man who knows how to handle a gladius.
There he is.
Your Praetorian Guard is captured in front of the Senate. We must hurry!
I'll come with you to witness the situation.
Keep him occupied until I can bring help. Don't antagonize him.
I will come with you as well. The Vestal Virgins will look after your mother.
Traitor to the Republic! Murderer of Romans! Enemy of the people! I have had your co-conspirators arrested, and they are patiently waiting for their moment of execution. But my own patience is wearing thin. I know villains like you do not have a sense of honor or virtue. Nevertheless, I know you were at least born Roman. If you have a speck of honor left, confess and surrender.
Consul, what are you doing? You can't publicly execute people without trial. Our laws forbid such despotism.
As dictator, prescription is well within my rights. The people of Rome saw fit to grant me that power. Who are you to question the wisdom of the people? As long as Rome remains in crisis, I shall remain dictator. Your traitor friends are rightfully apprehended. If you want them, you'll have to go through me. It is merely a proscription. No different from Sula's Purge. These are all traitors against the Republic, and I am well within my rights to kill them all and seize everything they own. The Gauls were going to attack Rome eventually. I just made sure their attack took place on our terms. So what? A few granaries were burnt down and some people died. We have lost hundredfold more lives in countless wars, and no objections were raised. Just like our courageous legionari, their deaths served the Republic. Unless your intention is to bore me to death, I would like to start executing these criminals.
This is bullshit! Those people are heroes!
They've done nothing wrong! Let them go!
You have lost your control, Lurko. Look at the faces of these people, your fellow citizens. They're afraid.
Only criminals and traitors should be afraid of me.
They're afraid of what you have turned the Republic into. That fear will turn into anger the moment anyone decides to stand up and protect the Republic.
You're a good tactician. Consider your position now. Your prisoners are the only advantage you possess. But they're only valuable while they're still alive. The Legatus can wait until you turn yourself into a murderer.
Or we can simply kill you and save them all. Then you will have achieved nothing here.
You wouldn't do that. You're men of law and order.
Victory is fleeting. Loyalty is eternal. We shall still be your warriors in the underworld where spirits dwell.
To Tartarus with your rules! We have already killed so many. Consul or not, he's but a man, and men are mortal. Believe me when I say I know.
Don't let me die like this! At hands of this pathetic man! You've done much for me, but I don't owe you my life!
I've shed blood in the name of Rome since the day I was born, and today shall be no different. Let him execute us, if that's what it takes to save the Republic. It's not for nothing. It's for everything.
Enough! Make your decision. As you wish. Who shall we take first?
Get it over with. Take me first. Then at least I won't have to listen to your drivel any longer.
You must not sacrifice yourself. He loves you. Survive for his sake. Kill me if you dare. I will go gladly to the afterlife. Perhaps I will finally meet my sister there.
Don't do it! This isn't justice!
I decide what is just. Execute him.
Oh, my brave friend. You deserved a more glorious death than this.
A traitor to the Republic has been brought to justice. I truly wonder what you will do now. Witnesses? Who's going to hold me responsible? I am dictator in perpetuo!
This is sick! It's an atrocity!
What's next? Will you have Pompeius executed too?
Calm yourselves! People of Rome, I am you. Don't you understand? A firm hand is what the Republic needs!
Despot! Tyrant! Down with him!
Get him! Put him down from there!
Get me out of here! Just get me out!
You're on your own, Consul!
Coward!
Webius Vitellius Lurco, you're not going anywhere! Throw yourself at the mercy of the Senate!
You can't do this. You don't have the authority. Don't you dare!
Now that is a style of rhetorics I can get behind.
You won. My friend, you did it.
I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. It is good to see you up and about, though. You look better.
Such things are natural. You've been tested physically and mentally. But that much is certain. Your friends did not give their lives in vain.
In the end, Bestia's death made a greater difference than any of the lives he's ever taken.
I never thought he would offer up his life. Cineros really changed him.
Lurco will certainly be exiled, or even executed. The Senate doesn't have a high opinion of traitors. Obviously, you will have to testify. There were accusations on both sides. The Senate must hear your side of the story.
If you will forgive me for bringing this up, I believe this will be good for your political career. Why not? You are the right age to begin the cursus honorum. All senators have to start somewhere. As far as the Senate is concerned, you are a tragic hero who brought a corrupt consul to justice. Regardless of what happens to Lurco, Rome will need a new consul. And I can't think of a better candidate.
Cato is right. Both the Optimates and the Populares already support you. If you run for Senate, the election will result in a landslide win.
I have no doubts.
You did save them. Those who remain alive have you to thank for it. This chapter ends, and another chapter begins. Fortuna alone knows what the future holds.
So ends the abridged history of one of the most beloved consuls of the Republic of Rome. It is thanks to him and his efforts to thwart the corruption and ambition of Vitellius Lurco that Rome remains a proud republic to this day. With his allies in the Senate, he worked tirelessly to address the problems that had plagued the Republic since its birth. Though many among the people of Rome lamented what they saw as a lost opportunity to challenge the status quo, the strengthening of democracy greatly improved life throughout the provinces of Rome. In time, the savior of the Republic took his well-deserved place in history among such heroes as Cincinnatus or Scipio Africanus. Cineros. Once he had been an athlete, a wrestler, and a troublemaker. But in our story, he was a servus, a protector, and a mentor. He had died diligently performing the task to which he had devoted himself, protecting his ward. Cineros was given a tomb in Rome's finest cemetery, next to his old dominus, whose death had incited this story. Though his death had been unexpected, he met his end with dignity and resolve. He had received forgiveness and, after a fashion, vindication for the mistakes of his youth. He was missed by all those who knew him. Though he was tempted to join the Legion again every time a new crisis arose to threaten his beloved Republic, Caeso's friends convinced him to remain in Rome. He became a lictor and served as the leader of his former legatus protection detail. Although their adventuring days were over, they enjoyed plenty of old-fashioned debauchery together. Callida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. With her beloved husband committed to letting her live her best life, she was happy to settle down by his side, supporting him in his endeavors as he supported her. Callida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits. Had Bestia given up hope of finding his sister again? With his death at Lurko's hands, at least, any remaining hope died with him. It might seem senseless that a man who had fought his whole life would die without a struggle, but there is a kind of poetry in it. Bestia had finally learned that it is better to die for something you value than to live for nothing at all. Deianira stayed by her friend's side for some time, until the pull of her nomadic nature grew too great. Unable to return to her family due to her crushing guilt, her travels instead pulled her further and further away from Rome, until one day she never returned to the city. Claudiana lived for many more years. She had many friends in Rome, and her life was peaceful and comfortable until her final days. On her deathbed, she revealed that she had once been very close indeed with Lucullus, and that indeed the true family name of her children was Licenia. Cato remained an important figure in Roman politics, grudgingly respected even by those among the population who desired change. He remained a defender of the patrician class, a shield against the pandering and opportunism of the more populist voices. He himself was elected consul twice throughout his life, and his years in the position were generally favorably regarded. Cicero served one more year as consul before his retirement. In his old days, he lived a quiet life on a farm in Sicily, where he was greatly beloved by the people for his time as quaestor. He continued to write many books on politics and law. Defeated once more by Rome, Mithridates escaped to the lands north of the Black Sea in the hope that he could raise a new army, but the locals soon rebelled against his rule. Incapable of taking his own life by poison, in the end Mithridates died by the sword of his bodyguard. With Zenobia in charge of Musia, it became once more a peaceful part of the Roman province of Asia Minor. With her focus on trade and strong ties to the neighboring regions, her people enjoyed a period of great prosperity. Grateful for the mercy he had been shown, and no longer with Mithridates to tempt his greed, Damianos quickly resumed political leadership of Thracia. Here, the gladiator rebellion that had started in his school was threatening to spiral out of control. Thanks to Damianos, the gladiators were pacified quickly, and without inordinate bloodshed. Lunia's death sent Nazarmanes spiraling into a fractious conflict, as greedy elders from minor tribes attempted to fill the void her passing had left behind. Though Queen Cleopatra attempted to bring the region under control, her attentions were too divided, the conflict too great for her to manage. Rome was forced to send more legions to enforce peace and stability with an iron fist. Though Africa Proconsularis eventually saw peace again, the traditions and culture of the Berber population were lost forever. Queen Cleopatra Philopator was, from the day of her coronation, a greatly beloved Queen of Egypt. Revered and admired by the population, she spent many of her days traveling up and down the Nile to visit her subjects and address their troubles and concerns. Under her rule, Egypt remained a powerful and prosperous nation and a strong ally of Rome. The fruits of the Nile flowed freely to the people of the Republic. After traveling all across Africa for many years, Going wherever her instincts took her, Raya eventually returned to Memphis and to the service of Tener at the Temple of Ubasti. When her mentor passed away, Raya naturally assumed the mantle as High Priestess of the Cat Goddess. Though the old faith was dwindling, she was greatly beloved by many, and her temple prospered, always home to many cats. With Diwitiacus once more assuming rulership of the Aedui, the tribe maintained a strong alliance with Rome, and through it, they greatly prospered. With the aid of the Aedui, Gallia slowly unified under Roman rule, and civilization soon began to creep into those lands in the form of paved roads, aqueducts, and fortified Roman towns. In his old age, did the Druid ever regret hastening the absorption and suppression of his own faith and culture? We will never know. The once proud and strong Arwerni were greatly reduced by the defeat of Vercingetorix, but his survival gave them hope. His will to make war upon Rome had been crushed, but he remained a strong figure of leadership among his people, even despite his failures. With his guidance, the tribes of Gallia remained unified and somewhat at peace, and vestiges of their culture and traditions survived their gradual subjugation under Rome. In this work, I have done my best to recount the history of this fascinating period, truthfully and accurately. As I have scoured the sources and spoken to many who claimed to have heard the story from someone who was there at the time, one thing that has stood out to me is the pivotal moments along the way where our story could have turned out very differently. In his darkest moods, the savior of Rome must have wondered if there was anything he could have done differently to save his friends. Perhaps if he had struck down Vitellius Lurco on that stage, or if he had gone so far as to bring his legion across the Rubicon, none of his companions would have had to die. But for those of us left to live in a peaceful and strong republic, what transpired seems like the best possible outcome. Our republic was saved, and the villain, Vitellius Lurco, was brought to justice. One should always take care when second-guessing historical figures with the benefit of hindsight. Here in the present, there will never truly be a way for you to know how you might have acted if you had lived in the past. Nor can you ever be certain how history will remember you.